In a subterranean industrial unit in Wakefield in Yorkshire, there lies a miniature marvel. I say miniature. In fact, it measures 192 feet in length, and it's a painstakingly detailed and accurate model of a 1.5 mile stretch of railway at Heaton Lodge Junction in Mirfield, to be precise, as it was in 1983. It's the work of businessman Simon George, who by his own admission wasn't even, and I quote, into model railways when he embarked upon the project. I bet he is now. He has reason to believe he has created nothing less than the biggest model railway in Britain. GBNews' own Yorkshire reporter Anna Riley brings us a sneaky peek of the miniaturised marvel.
Britain's unofficial biggest model railway has been secretly built in Yorkshire in this industrial estate over the last 8 years. The stunning scale model is currently being stored in the below-level basement here in Wakefield. The mega miniature creation is 192 feet in length, and with incredible accuracy, it depicts a 1.5 mile stretch of a real track at Heaton Lodge Junction in Mirfield in 1983.
Well, basically, when I was a child, I went to boarding school and I absolutely hated it. So I used to spend the long school holidays just sat by a railway embankment watching freight trains trundle past. And I kind of firmly believe that most of us as kids, we always have a special place that we go to, like, I don't know, a corner shop or the local park. But for me, I just used to come to this railway embankment, sit on a fence and watch the trains go by. So it always left pretty much an impression over the years. And so when I sold a business a couple of years ago, I embarked on a project which had actually started prior to that, 6 years before, but it really got me cracking when I sold the business to come down here and get it finished. So it was all about creating the place that I used to go to as a kid, but on a big scale, so I could actually put myself back in exactly the place I was when kind of Maggie was in number 10 and Duran Duran were in the charts.
Simon says he wasn't even into model railways, but managed to collect around 500 photos of the track area from 1983, so he could recreate every bush, hedgerow and piece of grass. Painting a bleak midwinter scene, there's realistic-looking trees made from car battery wire and 3,000 ferns made of copper that he painstakingly hand-painted. The leaves are genuine, while 1/2 ton of ballast has been ground up to look like track chippings. There's even fly-tipped sofas on the bank, while tiny Tesco carrier bags can be found snagged on branches and railway sleepers along the stretch.
Well, it's funny because sometimes, and it's only the odd occasion, I'll look up and it literally gets theirs in the back of my neck standing up, because it is just like being back then. To do that, you have to put all the detail in that did actually exist back then too. And leading on to research, I did spend quite a lot of time downloading hundreds of pictures from websites like Flickr, which show places in different eras, and this was one of them. But funnily enough, one of the pictures that I did actually download was of me as a 12-year-old child, random picture taken by a random railway photographer, but of me sat on a fence watching the trains go by. So it kind of gave me the real inspiration to carry on.
Once up and running, there'll be 28 trains operating at once automatically, including steam locomotives. Electric timetable boards will also be in place to keep visitors informed of when the next steam engine will be due.
It's modelled in what's called O gauge. We all know Hornby 00 train sets or whatever, but it's basically twice the size of that. It works automatically. There's 28 different trains. Some of them are 30, 35 feet long, and they just represent the coal trains that you used to see back in the 80s before the miners' strike. And yeah, it all works automatically, so at the press of a switch you can have trains coming from all different directions. They make sound exactly like the real thing. Some of them even blow what looks like diesel fumes out the roof. So it's quite a spectacle seeing it. It's great fun. It's great just to sit here with a coffee and watch them go by. And it has been difficult working down here on my own. you could say that I've been self-isolating for the last few years anyway, despite COVID. But yeah, it feels good because it just gives me some sort of focus so I can get it out in front of the public. It's changed from a hobby into a business, and it will enable lots of people to come and see it and hopefully to enjoy it.
With such intricate detail, it's already caused a stir amongst enthusiasts, and it'll now be brought to the attention of the general public when it goes on display at Wakefield's Market Hall in December. It's the first stop for what Simon hopes will become a new business venture, showcasing the model railway around Britain and even Europe. Anna Riley in Wakefield for GB News.
Fantastic, thanks for that, Anna. I love that kind of thing. I'm always inspired by people that can embark upon a hobby and make something so utterly unforgettable.
Welcome to the GB News YouTube channel. You can watch us live 24 hours a day, catch up on your favourite shows and join in the conversation in the comments below.
Don't forget to subscribe and you'll never miss any of our exclusive content.